Hi folks, I'm SilmarUK and welcome back to my Let's Play video series on Encased RPG, which is currently in early access. So let's get into the game itself. So last week we interacted with the relic and we ended up here. And interestingly, the text of the screen as we were loading into here was from 1977, but we interacted with the relic in 1976. So something weird has happened and we have no idea what that might be. So literally here we are. Let's check our data. Let's see if this is updated any. Okay, in the depths of the cave beneath Nashville you found a large luminous sphere. As you approach you sense a strange transformation within you. A series of strange events has been updated. At the far end of the cave, you found an unknown type of relic. As you approached, a voice sounded in your head. Right. So here we are. And to be clear, I have no idea what's going on, but I suspect much. Ethereal. You feel weak, light, and the world around you seems completely unrealistic. You cannot strike, touch anything or anyone, and your body seems almost weightless. Significant fatigue. At some point you realise you're awake. Your feelings are getting back with your consciousness. You feel bitter in your mouth. Your muscles are weak, stiff, and barely obey you. Some noise fills your ears. This is a rustling sound like waves coming ashore. Then you realise that the blinding white light shining around you isn't any light, it's a mist. You walk through the white haze carefully. Fragile pieces of rock crackle under your feet. Some vague shadows come out of the mist over your head. Breaches bristle with pieces of concrete plates and exposed armature. A dusty drill of an earth mover lying on its side. Yellow documents, boxes, crushed steel closets that tumble through the gaps in the floor. People? Melville. This is someone I've met. This was the guy at the gas station. There's no doubt. This funny grey-bearded old man with hair all askew standing before you is Aaron Melville, the old man from the gas station. He also recognises you. A smile appears on his wrinkled lips. Ah, it's you. Long time no see, my charming. Melville examines you closely. Safe and sound, I see. How did you manage her? No one survived in that place you were driving to. It's worse only in the centre of the dome where the spire, well, you know. I have no idea. The old man dabs somewhere up with his crooked finger. You're aware, aren't you? The spire has fallen. Now the road is closed. Well, if someone has to come here, and here we stay, crabs in a barrel. He thumps his timber toe into the earth, driving the mist clouds away. Don't think that I'm complaining. My business is on the roll. They come, they go. His face seems to become hard. He speaks slowly and flounders. The gas station has been crowded now. Everyone needs my gas station. People went crazy, I tell you. All these wars for no good reason. The old man sadly shakes his head. And he's gone. Clara Morgan. Clara is surrounded with white light and mist, her hand clasped in prayer. She reminds you of an angel statue from some reformist church. As she notices you, she changes expression and crosses herself mumbling. Calm her down, you're not a ghost. She nods slowly and with hesitation. Yes, I see this, both you and this mist, it's like in my head. She steps towards you and kneels. I must repent. Clara's voice trembles. When Maelstrom broke away, I didn't save anyone. I just got in the car and drove away. I'm a horrible sinner, I know, but I hope you are in heaven? He raises her face distorted with suffering. I tell her I don't know myself where I am. Sighs heavily. I see. Why do you appeal to me? Is this some sort of a sign? Do you know about signs? This is when her voice suddenly becomes deep and fixed. She draws as if her words sound from some corrupt tape. Clara's face alters subtly as if it turns to stone. Abbott is very kind to me, but his faith is nothing I got used to, she says in a dull voice. Ginsberg. The orange suddenly raises his hand as if he aims an invisible gun at you. Holy shit! He looks at his empty hand with a puzzled expression on his face. Ginsberg looks up, narrows his eyes and examines your face suspiciously. Do I know you? Yes, I do. Shit, oh shit, I should quit this crap. Anyone could lose it because of these glasses. He pointed his head with an awkward laugh. Ask where you are now, ask what crap's he talking about. Ginsberg presses his hand before his face. Did I lose it or did you? I told you, the glasses, the church sells this shit. Church teleglasses, an electronic augmented reality device developed by technologists of the Church of Maelstrom. Parishioners believe such glasses enable them to see the world in its true beauty and communicate with the whirlwind which reveals the secrets of the dome. In a broader sense, teleglass refers to all devices projecting an image onto a screen before the user's eyes. Before the incident, many Silvers owned such devices. He shakes his head. Or perhaps it's not the glasses. I see a lot of shit after that day. People pay cash to speak to me. Suddenly his face goes blank and his voice sounds dead and dull. Not everyone can escape from Nashville. That means something, doesn't it? While saying so, he looks at your face with glassy eyes. Steele's face, as always, wise, confident and focused, seems to be lit with the screen of an invisible computer. He raises his eyes upon you and a smile appears on his lips. You? Wow, this is amusing. I was certain you were already dead. He comes up to you and touches you with his palm. You feel nothing. Ronald palpates you with disappointment. His uncertain touch hints he feels nothing, just like you. What was I hoping for, anyway? Still looks at you. You know that it was practically unreal to survive and keep sanity with all that psycho-stress Maelstrom was generating. Many have lost their mind. That was what we saw here, and what happened after that on Ankara, across the west of the dome. He looks at you. You know, I'm locked inside my head right now. It looks like the computer room where Louise locked me in. How ironic. You see something very weird. Sparkles of golden light shining in the air. There are drops of melted matter from the explosion. You step forward and they fall, covering the earth with dusty burning spots. You step back and they rise again. The clock on the screen of your Keris is getting mad and rewinding time at each step. December 1976, January 1977, March, June. Martin Kingsley, okay. When Alden looks the same as during your first meeting, the same glistening thin-rimmed glasses, an arrogant look and a stopwatch in his hands. He's examining the shred of mist hanging in the air and seems to be so involved in his research that it takes some time for him to notice you. Meeting your eyes, the scientist instantly takes off. He comes up to you and begins to palpate your face, hands and clothes. His fingers seem to sink into your face. Sebastian Van Alden screws his lips scornfully. Yes, of course, a thought form, like the pink mist, I suppose, or any other similar anomaly, as was to be expected. Tell him that electrical anomalies in Concord isn't the threat one should prepare their new employees for. Ask him if he still uses his stopwatch. Ask him about the thought form and the pink mist. I think that's the most useful. The white winces. Are you able to perceive the context? I'm telling you about anomalies. The pink mist is obviously a term of this area. Thoughtful, well, this is a derivative of the pink mist. The witnesses often see people in it. Bastian smiles dreamily. I saw answers in it. Number sequence that, though you can't understand it, of course. The scientist loses every interest in you, steps aside and continues to study the mist. The grey-haired man stands in the mist and squints his eyes short-sightedly, his arms at his side. Kingsley seems to be much shorter in person and older. He notices you. I depended on your responsibility and you failed me. Why did you not report on those events? Martin comes closer. You notice small changes in his uniform. Many insignia are gone, but some patches are larger now. They resemble military chevrons. Kingsley nods as if he anticipates your unasked question. Yes, the uniform is nil, but the core is the same. Head of Magellan Base. I intended to resign after the incident, but Nakamura decided otherwise. I didn't argue. It surveys the thick mist around you. One thing, sir, you're standing here. That means you're alive. Yes, I know what this is, partially. He looks you in the eye and says, scientists from the emulator have been telling a lot about it. Not everything, of course, for even they don't know what this is. You smell quartz and sand tempered in the sun, but trying to look through the dispersing mist you don't see any desert. The world around you is full of pictures. They are floating around like visions in some crystal ball. A hall covered with carpets, the golden Cronus logo on the wall among wine-red banners, a power plant, a city filled with lights, mercenaries, soldiers, armoured vehicles moving through the cooled down wasteland in the night. The temple spire, its searchlight shines into the night sky, white corridors of scientific complexes. The visions fade one after another and only the last one remains, the black silhouette of some strange building towering up from the light sand. This picture freezes before your eyes as if giving sense to everything you've seen before. Okay, this is very interesting and informative, but it's getting a bit much having to talk to all of these people. The mist fades away. You see a short-skinned, dark-haired man with a serious, grim face and a bright turban on his head. Take a step towards him and strides forward as if blocking your path. The end justifies the means, don't they? Have your scientists nothing better to do, Himiko? He asks, looking upward. The stranger puts his palm before him, forcing you to stop. He looks up again. We have to be like the Union in Germany in the late 1930s. Mutual favours, mutual limits, and parity. We've always been working on such terms. As he speaks these last words, his lip freezes. The man in the turban keeps standing there, a lean figure that looks angrily somewhere upward. An unknown woman steps out of the mist and looks at you with mad, wondering eyes. She wears a tall tin crown on her head, rudely made and painted with golden powder enamel. She smiles, although this smile is more like an evil grin. She begins to prowl around you in a circle, fixing her wary eyes on your face. After one circle around you, she steps away to the mist and freezes, being a vague, distant figure. The white settles slowly. A man and a woman stand before you. Okay. The woman rolls her eyes unhappily. Are you serious? Tuesday. I tell you Wednesday, I tell you. Thursday. How come I always repeat the same? I don't sleep very well without my pills. You're the man. You're responsible for me. The nightstand, the upper drawer. They lie there, my pills. Just tell me before we go to sleep. Pills. Is it so difficult, Joanne? She slightly pushes him on the shoulder. The man nods automatically, lost in thought. The woman clasps her hand in front of her chest. She literally boils with frustrations. I can't depend on you, can I? I can't relax in so many years because I have to control the situation for both of us. Johan, hello, my pills, my friggin' pills. The yelling pulls the man out of his pondering. It looks like he comes to senses and looks at you with surprise, then he turns his eyes at his companion. Olivia, don't shout. Make a habit of putting your pills on your pillow. Don't hype up, and in this case, it's not about the pills. Olivia falters and points her finger at you. And what is this? Or who is this? Can you tell without your permanent riddles, Johan? Just tell. Johan gives you an appraising look. Maelstrom, Abbott trying a new device? I don't know, darling. And now be so kind, take these bloody pills if you remembered. If you should jail, do it more quiet, I have a migraine. The woman flings her arms up fiercely and walks into the mist. Johan waits until she disappears and follows her. The fuzzy mist, as if whisked with a mixer, looks like slowly dissolving clouds. A short and chubby little man in a camouflage cap and an army shirt comes out of the white in a businesslike manner. He puts his hand behind his back and stops a few steps away from you. His gaze literally scans you. Vivid interest flashes in his eyes. He clears his throat. I'm out of jokes about death, out of jokes about Mr. Christ, out of jokes about hallucinations. Although hallucinations under the dome aren't any joke, but an everyday reality. The man circles you. His glance bounces from your face to your uniform, from your uniform to your shoes and bag. But you are something else, so let's see. A pre-war haircut, an old-time uniform, pale skin. You clearly never got a chance to acquire a desert tan. Your shoes aren't worn out, you just received them. He reacts, recites with enthusiasm. He frees his plump palm and carefully touches you with one finger. You're ethereal but light-tight. You respond to my movements. You don't use any image that's familiar to me. You don't look like any person known to me. And your badge says... He raises on tiptoe and fixes his eyes upon your badge. Name, of course, the name. He begins to fling his arms about and goes away without even saying goodbye, and the mists fly shut behind his back as if it were door wings closing. A wizened old man, long and lean of straw, bends over you and examines you with the curiosity of a vulture. The light cloth of his long yellow-white robes falls down in waves and rustles quietly. His stony black eyes resemble the eyes of a blind man, but their gaze is fixed on you. What an amazing technology, he says in a heavy, expressive, well-trained voice. The voice seems to belong to some other person. He smiles, and the warm, finally smile widely contrasts with the threat in his eyes. Name your price and I will buy your desire, but the assessment should be reasonable. Take time with your answer, think it through though. With a smile on his face, he steps back into the mist, never moving his gaze off of you. First you hear heels clicking. A dark figure appears out of the mist before you. It's a woman. You've never met her, but her face seems to be slightly familiar, as if you've seen it 1,000 times. You even heard the sound of her voice, although you have no idea where you could have heard that. She looks at you with surprise and pensiveness, then she frowns and comes closer. She sounds so close to you that you see multicoloured reflections in her bionic eye. As she pokes a finger into you and makes sure you're ethereal, she waves her hand left-right. Obviously she tries to disperse you like mist. Of course she fails. The woman chuckles with discontent and goes away, the clicking of her heels fades away quickly. They say Nashville was built as a launch pad for the Maelstrom, and this idea is quite popular today. With all responsibility, I must state this is nonsense. A typical bunker of a typical design, all changes were dictated by ergonomics and logistics, and accusations of it all being part of some experiment. Excuse my, but this is sheer paranoia. No, Kronos did not know anything about the Maelstrom, and speculation with facts is absolutely inappropriate. Okay. We've returned to the cave, but I don't think we're at the point in time when we first interacted with the relic. The relic plunges your physical form into stasis and transfers your consciousness to some kind of extra-dimensional mental space. Your mind wanders to this other plane, interfacing with the minds of other people. Some among them are acquaintances, some strangers. Something must connect you to them, but what? Perhaps time will tell. Well, the relic's not here anymore. So, oh dear, we're not getting up there, are we? Okay, let's explore some more then. This level doesn't have a map. Okay. Aha. So we're not going to be allowed to take the service shell with us. Okay. We need to unequip the shell then. Right, that means we're probably encumbered. Yeah, we're really encumbered. Okay, we're going to have to drop a load of things, but we're going to want to be somewhat careful with what we drop, because we don't know what we're walking into. So... the thing is, I'm a bit loath to ditch any of this stuff. All of it could be useful, but we've got to do something. Okay, that dropped my encumbrance to 66. Okay. Let's get rid of the rat eyes. These are apparently poisonous. So we'll drop those. Uncooked chicken egg. Well, we might want the eggs. Mechanical repair kit. That could be really useful. Some of these items could be really useful. A rat foot. Let's drop that. And a rat tail. Let's get rid of that. Right, we're carrying a few weapons. Okay, let's drop those. We'll ditch there, and I don't see any reason to have that anymore. Okay. Don't seem to have any use for that yet, so we are going to ditch that. Ah, lots of earth. I think we want to ditch that. We'll ditch those. Okay. We're slightly encumbered. Now we need to get things down some more. Let's ditch those as well. We are no longer slightly encumbered. Right. Let's leave. Board of Directors believes in the bright future of the C12 facility. According to calculations of the analytical department, the relic production of the facility will increase by 700% by 1979. It's obvious that by this moment the national base will no longer be able to satisfy the demand for housing for all the employees, so we're already building a modern residential complex with 3,800 people. Construction of the main building, a skyscraper with an observation deck, is almost completed. The first apartments will be ready by the spring of 1976. Light, bright light. Cover your face with your hand. After the darkness of the cave, it feels as if broken glass was poured into your eyes. You slowly spread your fingers. At first you don't see anything, only blind whiteness. Gradually this pulsating light brings out the outlines of a red rock and some tall white structure at its foot. The screen of your Keras blinks. The system reports an error when trying to update the inbuilt atlas. When the map's loaded again, there are no icons on it, only a single marker that indicates your position, but at least judging by the coordinates, you're still near Nashville. Right. You trek through the depths of your own mind unexpectedly ended when waking up in some same cave where you first encountered the strange red sphere. The sphere is not around anymore, and the cave is covered with sand and earth, apparently as a result of some kind of collapse. First of all, you need to get out of here, and only then try to understand what to do next. I think this is an appropriate point to save. Got to be careful with what I take on. I don't want my encumbrance to get to the point. Right. A letter on Project Emulator Stationery. Read. Sorry to bother you with this matter, but there's no one else I can ask. In a couple of hours, Nakamura will announce a general 6C class alert. The city will be closed and all fieldwork indefinitely halted. While there is still a mess at the control post, it's critically important for us to obtain data on the dynamics of the psychic field structure near Maelstrom, and ideally inside it too, but I won't ask for the impossible. A reminder, please be careful. I have no other employees experienced than I call friend either. That was Henrietta, and it was written to Ricardo A, who is no longer with us. Maelstrom signals. Found a dead body in the desert and a letter from a certain Henrietta R on it. There was a lot of incomprehensible words in that letter, mentioning the Maelstrom and the psych field. It also said about some city. Okay. Ah. The car has crashed. A long black skid mark and trail of spilled oil delineate the path to its demise. The car radio crackles with interference. You lean towards the radio embedded in the torpedo of the car. The emergency message is now coming through louder but hardly clearer. However, you could try to adjust the frequency. Rotate the tuning knobs. You rotate the controller. The emergency message is now coming through loud and clear. Don't panic. Our scientists and security specialists are closely confidence in the new committee authorities. The problem will be solved in the nearest future. Attention, this is not a drill. In the area affected by the Maelstrom mega anomaly situation, C6 is happening right now. Further, stay in the yellow sector is prohibited. Employees with tasks in the danger zone must leave the area immediately. Follow evacuation plans. The announcer's voice is briefly replaced with static, then resumes again. All residents of the dome not devoid of the new committee citizenship are granted asylum. The city is located far enough away from the yellow sector and can be considered safe. Distant wailing of emergency sirens can be heard through the speakers. The announcer keeps talking. Don't panic. Our scientists and security specialists are closely monitoring the Maelstrom phenomena. Any registered movement of psi-fronts will be studied and monitored. We urge you not to spread false rumours about the victims among the population. Maintain confidence in the new committee authorities. The problem will be solved in the nearest future. Attention, this is not a drill. Hit the dashboard. Speakers fall silent for a moment, then begin to crackle and skir with double force. The text of the announcement is still barely audible in parts. Leave current location. Nope. Oh. Looks like there are people and they are a long way away. Right, let's move to the top of the stairs. Okay, afflicted. We can tell there's 3 more. There's one up there. Right, if there's one up there, we don't want to be stood out in the... Aha! There's one there. Okay, that did nothing. Well, she just shot me with a cryo pistol like I tried to do with her. Well, this hardly seems fair. Okay. We're in trouble. So. Cool. I'm not going to survive this. I'm going to have to reload. Well, that was useless. Yeah. No idea what was going on there. Observation deck base. Let's see where we end up. See, the problem with combat is you can't get out of it when you're in it, once you're in it. So I don't believe I can just run away from a fight. Okay, cool. Read that again. There we go. Come here, listen to this. There we go, we've got that. Right. Let's save at this point. Now I think okay. This time we see them. Not sure how you get up there. Potentially the only way to fight them is to get up there so I can break their line of sight. Apparently there's a glass door. Let's go for that. Natural observation deck is no less interesting. Besides the equipment housed here, ventilation ducts, weather sensors, radio communications arrays, the deck is something of a promotional project. Here at a height of 96 meters, binoculars have been installed allowing one to view almost every part of the globe in clear detail. One might rightfully claim the East Point observation deck is much more comfortable, but only here can you feel on top of the world. Well, this looks like it could be useful. I'm just rushing around just to make sure there aren't people hidden here who are going to be a problem. Okay, cool. Right, let's save at this point. Okay. So, thank you for watching. I'm SilmarUK, and if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel for more like this. We're going to finish our entry to the new world there. and we'll carry on next time. You can find me on various social media as SilmarUK, on my website www.silmaruk.net, on my Discord server, or on Twitch, where I live stream as SilmarUK 4 times a week. You can also find 3 other Let's Play series here on YouTube: FF7 Remake, Shadowrun Returns, which is a turn-based RPG similar to this, and Beautiful Desolation, which is a point-and-click post-apocalyptic adventure. So thank you very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves and stay safe. And that's it for now.